Come here, Pete. Come here, baby. Hey everyone, it's Rena Monet, and today I will be showing you all how to make a zine, or at least how I make a zine. I've been making zines for a couple years now. I'm actually on my third one. It is called No Ordinary Love, and it is inspired by my parents who have been married for 30 years. I just got an order for the zine, so I figured I'd go ahead and shoot a little tutorial on how I make it. Alright, so I just want to start off by going over the materials that we will be using today. Here is an example of my zine. It is a 6-page zine with a front and back cover. And each drawing that I did in here has a little text to match it. So I'll be showing y'all how to format the zine and print it, as well as the binding. So for that, you will need super glue, you'll need a pencil, eraser, and something to poke holes in the zine. This is a ceramic tool actually, but it works perfect for this. You'll also need a needle. You'll also need a clip to keep all of your paper together, an X-Acto blade, some scissors, and I will be using 2 rulers. I promise they both serve a purpose, but you really only need one. I'm also using 2 different types of paper, so I have this thinner paper for the pages of my zine, and then this thicker paper for the cover of my zine. You will also need a self-healing cutting mat and thread, which I forgot to show here, but I'll go ahead and link everything down below with my affiliate links, which I may earn a small commission from. But don't forget a laptop and printer as well, obviously. Okay, so to get right into the formatting of my zine, I will include a template in the description, but for the sake of this video, let's go over where you should place everything. So on your first page, you should have drawing number 1. And beneath that you should have drawing number 2, but it should be paired with the text that you want on the 6th page of your zine, so we'll call that text number 6. On the second page you should have your preface, and underneath that you should have text number 1, which is the text you want to go on the first page of your zine. Okay, so on the 3rd page of your document you want to have drawing number 5 paired with text number 3. And beneath that, you want drawing number 6 paired with text number 2. And on the 4th page of your document, you will want drawing number 4 paired with text number 4 and drawing number 3 paired with text number 5. And this is how you format the cover. So the front cover is on the right side here, and the back cover, this is the inside of the back cover. So pretty simple. I also want to show you guys the printing settings that work best for me. So go to File, Print. I make sure that it is not in color because I like mine to be in black and white. Obviously the drawings are in black and white. I make sure it's double-sided. I picked my correct printer, the media, and quality. This is really important. So I make sure I click high quality plain paper, and I want my printing to be in the best quality, so I selected that as well. So most important things are make sure it's double-sided, make sure you're selecting the right type of paper and the right quality. Okay, so I actually received 2 recent purchases for my zine, so I printed the cover twice on this paper here just to save some paper. But now for my favorite part. So this paper is 8.5 by 11. You will need to cut it in half, so half of 11 is 5.5, so I'm just making points where 5.5 inches is on each side. And then I'm using my X-Acto knife and I'm cutting at 5.5 inches. And now I'm doing the same thing to the cover of my zine. So once everything is cut up, now we have to pair all the pages together. So I have the cover right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and lay it flat like this. So I have a drawing here, and I'm gonna now try and find the text to match it. Here is the text to match it, so I just go ahead and place that on top there. I'll show you what that looks like. Once you open it, you will have the drawing paired with the text. So you're going to do that with every page. So I have another drawing there, and I'm looking for the text to match it, and I'll place it right on top. Okay, so this last piece here is actually on the back side, so I'm pairing this last text with my drawing here one last time, shuffle it together, and then make sure you're folding it so your drawing is on the inside and your preface is on the outside, just like this. I've made the mistake in folding it the opposite way. I actually did while filming this, and I had to redo it, so just make sure you don't make the same mistake as me. Okay, and when folding it, you want to make sure that your edges are nice and aligned. I also will use a ruler to fold it down a lot smoother. And make sure you do it on the opposite side as well. Alright, so you can go ahead and clip your pages together because now we're going to start binding. Okay, so now is when my wooden ruler is most useful. I like to mark 3 points where I will poke my needle through. So one point here, which is about 1/2 inch in from the bottom. I do a middle point and then another point that's about 1/2 inch from the top. And I already have these measurements marked on my wooden ruler. Then I will use my little pokey tool and I will poke 3 holes where I will be threading the binding of my zine. So thread, I did forget to mention thread in the beginning, or I just forgot to show it, so here's the thread that I use. I don't really like how thick it is, so I go ahead and cut a piece off, and I go ahead and separate the threads. So there's 6 individual threads, and I just split it in half, 3 and 3. So I'll show you how that's done. I just pull it apart, and just make sure that you are pulling it apart with 3 on either side. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Then you can go ahead and pull it apart, which surprisingly isn't the easiest thing. It tends to get knotted up, so just take your time and make sure that you are left with enough thread to do the binding. Alright, so once that's done, you can go ahead and grab your needle and thread it. And make sure you just leave a little tail, maybe just like several inches. And this is what you'll be working with. You're going to start with the needle going through the back side and go ahead and pull it through. Just make sure you leave a little tail. You will need that later. And then your needle will go through the top and out the back. And then it will go through the bottom. And go ahead and pull it through the other side. And lastly, go ahead and poke it through the middle. Once you pull the needle through the other side, you can go ahead and take it off. And make sure that you have thread on either side of this middle piece. So I'm going to just pull that over, and now it's perfect. Go ahead and pull it tight. Careful not to break the thread, but pull it as tight as you can. And then you're going to knot it once. Pull it really tight, and then knot it a second time. At this point, you can go ahead and take that clip off. Look how tight it is, nice and secure. And you're almost done, but the last thing you're gonna do is grab your super glue. And you're going to glue right on top of that knot. Don't add too much, but you're gonna just add a little bit of glue and you'll see it just seep right into the thread, and that'll just make it nice and secure so it doesn't unravel. Okay, the very last step is cutting the little extra pieces of string once that super glue has dried. Make sure you get as close as possible to the knot without cutting the knot off. And there we go, we have made a zine. So like I said, I am fulfilling an order. So I have my little stamp here, which is my signature. It's a butterfly print that I made a few years back. Actually, at this point, I think it's been like 5 years, but I made it when I was going to university briefly. Something else I like to do is write a little note. A little thank you note. This one here is personal. A friend of mine bought a zine, so I'm writing an extra special note to her. Shout out to Bree if you're watching this. So now I'll go ahead and just finish up the packaging of my zine, and then it'll be ready to ship. Alright you guys, that completes the tutorial on how to make a zine. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope it was informative enough, and I hope to see you make zines of your own. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I want to thank you for watching. I will see you next time.